Hello and welcome back to Blues Armory, where today we're talking Stormtroopers. So today we're talking about the mighty Imperial Stormtrooper, and this is the start of a new series which I am calling the TK Project. This series is designed to take me, and hopefully all of you that are watching, from zero to Stormtrooper and everything in between. We're going to break this series up over probably a couple of months as I look at building my first Imperial Stormtrooper costume for the 501st. We're going to start with looking at a bit of the history of the Stormtrooper, where to buy your Stormtrooper costume, pros and cons of different vendors for Stormtroopers, and then it's going to be purchasing my Stormtrooper, building my Stormtrooper, putting my Stormtrooper together, how to take photos of your Stormtrooper for the 501st, and then we're going to end with, hopefully, 501st approval. So let's jump into it on episode 1 of the TK Project. So the Imperial Stormtrooper, created in the 70s for 1977's Star Wars. It was created by Shepperton Studios, designed on paper by Ralph McQuarrie and then put together by Shepperton. About 56 odd Stormtrooper helmets were originally made for the first film. More or less around the same bits of armor as well. These were all hand molded, then cast. HPDE was the plastic that they used, and then they spray painted them white at first. They created a bunch of these Stormtroopers, and then George Lucas realized that the imperfections on the dome of the helmet and bits of the armor wasn't going to cut it for the hero Stormtrooper. So aptly they created hero Stormtroopers, which were a lot cleaner, a lot shinier, and those were the ones that you see Han and Luke wear and any other Stormtroopers up close. It is one of the most iconic bits of costuming from all history of film, and I absolutely adore it. It is a staple of the 501st. It is the original costume of the 501st, and for many, many years, it was the most widely worn costume of the 501st. Now, in recent years, with the new shows, the animation, people falling in love with the prequels and the clones, there has been a wide breadth of costumes in the 501st that have come about. But the one that always stays near and dear to everyone's heart is a Stormtrooper. And if you've got the funds to do it, I think you should always have an Imperial Stormtrooper. So, my history with the Stormtrooper. Obviously, I've never owned a Stormtrooper costume, but I have worn a Stormtrooper costume. At MEFCC 2025, I got to don a beautiful RS Prop Masters New Hope stunt costume that was kindly lent to me by Pete from our 501st Garrison here in the UAE. He let me have a run out in it on the last day of the convention so that I could see what it was like. I'll put a picture somewhere here. It was an amazing experience. I got to feel what wearing a Stormtrooper was like. I've worn a lot of armor over the years of costuming, but I've never been able to wear a Stormtrooper. So that was a super exciting thing for me to do. Enough rambling. Let's pull in my notes because we're going to talk vendors. So the first thing you should do if you're looking to build a Stormtrooper for the 501st is go get registered on the first Imperial Stormtrooper Detachment forum. That forum is a breadth of knowledge from 20 plus years of people putting together Stormtrooper costumes. Some of the guys in there have had Stormtrooper costumes probably since the early 2000s, maybe even the late 90s and into the 80s. They're just fantastic with their knowledge of the Stormtrooper costume and how it's changed, because there are differences from A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and now in the newer shows, sort of like The Mandalorian and Solo, the costume has changed. In fact, I've done a couple of YouTube shorts, which I'll link somewhere, about the changes in Stormtrooper armor over the years. But we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about the Stormtrooper. So what Stormtrooper should you go for? You have a choice. You have a New Hope stunt, you have a New Hope hero, you have Empire Strikes Back, you have Return of the Jedi, and then you have the new Rogue One, Mandalorian, Solo ones. What I'm going to be looking at mostly is the classic Stormtrooper, the A New Hope Stormtrooper. Now I've just got to decide between stunt and hero. Personally, I'm leaning towards stunt. I do like the little bits of imperfections on the kit. I think they just add character to them. But depending on which maker you go for, what versions you can get are going to change. So like I said, you can go on to the first Imperial Stormtrooper Detachment. On their forum, they have a list of vetted vendors and also vendors to avoid. in the realm of positivity, we're not going to talk about the people to avoid. You can go check that out for yourself. I'm not going to talk about the negative aspects. I just want to talk about the wonderful makers that exist in the space. I am going to include prices in the currency that I use, which is dirhams here in the UAE. If you would like to know it in any other currency, you can do that yourself. But for ease of use, I will put a conversion to US dollars on the screen as well. So let's start with the vendors that I have narrowed down because of what has been recommended from the Stormtrooper Detachment and what I find to be available and within a decent budget and a decent lead time. So first up, we're going to start with the King of Troopers. I've talked about them before. It is the kit I've worn before. We're going to talk about RS Prop Masters. RS Prop Masters are an incredible group of costume builders and armor builders. They build costumes with a lineage back to 1977. So RS Prop Masters offer quite a few different options for the Stormtrooper kit. We're going to look at A New Hope stunt version and the two options they offer with that. So they offer a built version and they offer a build it yourself version. So your built version with RS Prop Masters is going to come completely made and ready to wear. It is basically you receiving a box, you put it on and you are good to go. It is an incredible way just to get going and have your Stormtrooper kit ready to go. Your kit comes with the kit, a helmet, your undersuit, your gloves, your neck seal, your boot, and your holster. Now they used to offer an E11 blaster. It's not currently an option on the website, but I reckon if you would email them, you'd get some more information about it. This kit in dirhams comes out to 7,087 dirhams. It is expensive. It is. There's no way getting around it. This is an expensive kit. It's an incredibly beautiful kit, and the craftsmanship that goes into it and you're getting everything with it is fantastic. But there is no getting around, it is an expensive kit. But you're also ready to go out of the box. So if you don't have the skills you think to put together the Stormtrooper costume, the trimming of the ABS and all that kind of stuff, and snaps and putting it all together, then this is the option that you want to go for. Now, if you don't mind a bit of DIY skills and you don't mind putting some stuff together, you can get a build it yourself kit from RS Prop Masters. That is just going to come with the kit. So you would also need a helmet. Obviously they do offer helmet kits, but I'm going to say that if you want to build the armor, you just want the helmet done. So an RS Prop Masters kit, build it yourself, plus an already built helmet is going to come out to 4,516 dirhams. Again, USD will be on the screen. That is going to be a build it yourself kit. That is one of the kits that I'm definitely leaning to because you are saving a massive amount of money, almost $1,000 on building it yourself. Next vendor up is Authentic Props out of Canada. They provide a fully built A New Hope stunt kit. This kit comes with your kit, your helmet, holster, and gloves. Again, send them your measurements, they build it for you, you arrive, and then all you have to pick up is your undersuit, your neck seal, and your bodysuit. They're quite easy to come by. $40, $50 for each thing, maybe $100, $200 for your boots. That is a beautiful kit from all the pictures I've looked on online. They're a maker that have been doing this for a while, and by all intents and purposes, the reviews of their kit are fantastic. Next up is Denu Novo. Now, this is a name that some people might not have heard of before because they used to be known as Anovos. Yeah, that Anovos. So Anovos was a company that had a license, a Lucasfilm license to create costumes that were based off costumes that were made from Lucasfilm. They were given, as far as I know, access to the costumes to build their actual costumes off them. People were very excited for them. I know they did a First Order Stormtrooper and a Kylo Ren, which people still talk about to this day. Anovos had a lot of problems. They didn't ship out a lot of their costumes and they basically went completely bankrupt with people not receiving a single bit of their costume. Awful for people that had spent a lot of money on these kits. But they have now been bought by Rubies, and I highly recommend that a couple of years ago, the director or CEO or someone in charge of the company did a podcast on Armor Party and talked about the things that they're changing. And for all intensive purposes, I have heard from people that stuff is getting shipped out now pretty regularly and the prices are okay. They offer a built kit similar to AP or RS Prop Masters. which is the kit, the holster, and no helmet. That is going to run you about 3,729 dirhams, or this in USD. Now, if I was to do this, I would say I would look at getting the kit from Denu Novo, and then I would probably go for someone like RS Prop Masters to build me a helmet. Next option up is Imperial Surplus. You will know Kevin Weir's Imperial Surplus as the purveyor of many, many, many a clone. In fact, I think if you look at most clones in the 501st, Kevin has had a hand in them somewhat. The clone kits are phenomenal. They look fantastic, and the craftsmanship, and also, as I hear, customer support is absolutely wonderful. They have now taken the license, or the molds, should I say, from another maker, and they are now producing Stormtrooper kits. As with everything that comes from Imperial Surplus, it is 100% build it yourself. So if you want to have a crack at that, Imperial Surplus, you know, is going to be a great option. I haven't mentioned lead times with this. Some companies publish lead times on their website. Some you have to email to find out what the lead time is going to be. Now remember, a lead time for a fully built costume is going to be a lot longer than just your vacuum formed bits coming in a box. So just remember that when you're looking for your kit. The Imperial Surplus kit, which is just the kit and the helmet, nothing else that you would need, no holster, no boots, no undersuit, no neck seal, it's going to run you 2,775 dirhams. Now, that's a great deal compared to everything else we've looked at, and I think is a fantastic option. At the moment, Imperial Surplus are quoting a 6-week lead time. So if you're looking to get a kit quite quickly, another great option. 2 more remaining. We're going to talk about RWA Creations, which is Ross from the UK, or even the Isle of Wight, or the Isle of Man. It's one of them, but Ross makes some incredible kits. I have spoken to people with kits from Ross. I've spoken to Ross himself about shipping a kit over to me. He's going to offer you kit, helmet, holster, neck seal, and belt, all together, build it yourself. That is going to come out to 2,726. Great reviews on this kit. It looks fantastic, and a lot of the UK Garrison guys are wearing Ross's kits. Lastly, this isn't one that was mentioned on the vendor list on the first Imperial Stormtrooper division, but it's a fantastic price, and this maker, I think, went through some issues previously, but I've ordered from them, and their customer service and the quality of their stuff has been absolutely wonderful. It's Mon Cal Prop Shop, or Faraway Creations. They do a Stormtrooper. You can get a Stormtrooper kit from them. It is a build it your own kit, but it is a fantastic price when they have it on sale, coming in at 2,185. It is build your own kit, build your own helmet, but the kit is pretty nice. I have some stuff in a box down there that I have bought from Moncal. They make some fantastic stuff. I've messaged them a couple of times on Etsy with questions if they could actually restock something for me and make it, and they've been fantastic every time, and told me when things were going to get shipped out. Really, really, really good communication. Their kit is an absolute bargain. I don't know anyone with these kits, so you're going to have to do a bit more research to find out if this kit is for you. Again, it's a build your own kit, so if you're into that and if you're up for that, it's a good choice. But 2,185 dirhams, dollars here, is a great price for a Stormtrooper kit. So those are all the vendors that I'm looking at. Look, if you go on to the Stormtrooper Detachment, there are a few more vendors on there. You can go look at those and make a decision yourself, but these are the vendors that I am looking at for my Stormtrooper, and I just want to give you a little bit of an idea of what it's like searching for your Stormtrooper. When I was looking to start this project, you speak to people in your garrison. We have a couple of TKs in the garrison. At the moment, we just have actually two standard TKs. We have an RS Prop Masters fully built kit that Pete has, and then Aaron, who's just joined us, has a Novos. We were at an event the other day, and here were both of their helmets next to each other. Look, Stormtrooper helmets. Anyway, this just gives you an idea. When I was looking for it, like I said, there wasn't much in the terms of YouTube videos talking about this kind of stuff and breaking it down. I'm not endorsing any of these vendors. I haven't bought anything from them regarding Stormtrooper armor. I've bought from people for other things, it doesn't matter. This is what I'm looking at. Now, in terms of me personally, there are a few options I'm looking at. The nicest option, if I had the money straight away, would be fully built RS Prop Masters. That's just where I'm leaning. But that is a lot of money to drop on a Stormtrooper kit. Like, it is by far the most expensive. You are getting all the bits, you're also getting it built for you. So it's literally arrive, wear it, go. But it is so much money. And the kit is stunning and it's beautiful, but I'm not sure that that's something that I am going to be able to afford unless YouTube really kicks off for me. And also my soon-to-be wife would absolutely murder me if I spent 7,000 dirhams on some plastic. AP, obviously, it's a good price for a fully finished kit. You'd have to pick up some other things yourself, but great kit. I've not seen one in person, which is my hesitation. The RS Prop Masters Build It Yourself kit, again, it's right up there on my list. I really trust RS, having seen their work, and I watch all of their YouTube videos and see the work that goes into it, so they're up there. De Novo, they're going lower down on my list, and it's not because I don't trust them. It's just I've seen some reviews of the kit, and it's a little bit thinner plastic, and maybe not as high quality as some of the other makers, but it is a good price. Imperial Surplus. Imperial Surplus is very high up on my list. Again, I don't mind the building aspect. The only downside for me is that it's just the kit and the helmet. I would need to buy a lot more stuff to finish off that kit, but Imperial Surplus's reputation in the business is fantastic. RWA Creations, Ross, I have spoken to Ross about actually shipping a set over to me. Coming from where he is in the UK, it would be an absolute not nightmare, but it would be I'd be paying another 150, 200 quid on top of that to get the kit shipped to me. So although the kit is beautiful, it may not be one that I'm looking at because of the shipping costs. Just for reference, I have a shipper in the US that will ship things to me to make things a bit cheaper. I know the US is further away. And then finally, Moncal Prop Shop. Now, Moncal Prop Shop is someone I trust because I've bought things from them before, but I would need to see someone in their kit. So if you're watching this video and you know someone that has a kit from Moncal or Faraway Creations, fire the details, fire some pictures over to me. Let me know. I want to see a kit from them because I'm just curious. So there we go, a lot of decisions to make. That is episode 1 of the TK project. Episode 2 of the TK project, I'm going to sit down with some 501st Stormtroopers and talk to them about their kits. So this is a call out. I put one out on my Instagram the other day. If you are an approved 501st Stormtrooper, drop me a message. I would love to have a chat, and you don't mind being on camera. I'd love to have a chat. You don't need to be based where I am because I know all the Stormtroopers here. We can do this over Zoom, we can do this over whatever, but I would love to sit down and talk about the Imperial Stormtrooper, and then episode 3 we'll finally get to buying one. But let me know if you want to talk, let's talk. So there is your overview of Stormtroopers for the 501st. Are you looking to buy a Stormtrooper? Let me know down below. What would you go for if you had the money? If there was no budget, let me know. That'll do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I've just hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube as well. Really means a lot. Thank you everyone for subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, why not subscribe? The button is just there. And until I see you on the next video, have a great week ahead. Happy crafting. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.